Everybody, this is Denise, and this is the 16th of December. So we're clearly into day 30 or something like that. I'm not really sure. And I have to apologize because I'm using the front camera and still, like, no matter how I look at the screen, it always feels like I'm looking off to one side or the other. So I'm not really quite sure how that works. But, and so I've really been coming to terms with what's happening here. I'm at work, I'm a school teacher, and I work with a mix of ethnicities, let's just say it like that. And so generally, I'm fairly comfortable with being black, just because I am. But I'm usually the kind of person who's fairly conservatively dressed and a little formally dressed. That's just been my style. And so I don't generally have like braids and twist outs and or wear my hair in its natural state. And I guess some of it is a little could be a little cultural, but most of it is just because um, my hair is so high porosity that in its natural state it doesn't really conform. And so when I'm accustomed to being, fairly dressed up, business casual all the time, kind of put together, I like my hair to kind of be the same way. So my hair is a little more free form than I'm generally comfortable with, you know, doing. And that's just pretty much it. Now, there are people at work who have locks. And actually, there's a lot of students who have locks. But it just really hasn't been my thing because I just really like this whole neat, tidy hair thing. Like just a little bit of frizz on my head, like freaks me out. So once I decided to like really go with this challenge, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with my hair that I can wear every day and feel comfortable with it. And if I'm going to be putting that much moisturizer in my hair and that much spray, there's really nothing else I can do, especially if I'm protective styling it, because just having it out and curly like that is definitely not going to protect the style, especially in the wintertime when it's a pretty good idea that I put something on my head when I go out there. So the only things to do were mini braids and mini twists. And so I just felt like it was gonna. I have this like really large forehead, or at least that is my actual perception. I've had my entire life. I mean, actually, might not be that bad, but like I said, that is my own perception that I have to deal with. So I feel like I have this really big forehead, and it's always been an insecurity. And then I have really fine hair, and I just like scalp frightens me. I don't even know what the deal is with that. But when I used to braid my hair with extensions, I always made sure that the extensions filled in such a way that you didn't see any scalp. That's just the way it was. So that was a big concern to me. And not only that, but I was afraid that they would look boneless, which they absolutely do, and not very full. So I had to come to terms with the fact that I just have fine, thin hair, and it just is what it is. So, mini twist or mini braids. Here's how this works. With the high porosity, fine hair, mini twists have a tendency to, first of all, they can unravel. They can look boneless. They can cling together and not at anywhere along the shaft and at the roots. So I was really concerned that I was just going to have this knotted mess trying to get the mini twist out. Mini braids seem to alleviate that problem with the tangling, but to me, they also make the hair look a little thinner, or at least I thought, because it is always a possibility that the twists are going to swell a little and give more volume, where the mini braids won't at all. And the takedown process for the mini braids is a lot harder. And also with the spray and the oil and the cream, it's not really swelling up the way they would if I was using mousse. So that's the thing. So a couple things I make sure I do is I freeform part, except for the 2 rows at the back of my head. There's just nothing to be done with the nape. It just gets parted, and basically it kind of fills in itself from a hair along the sides in the kitchen and the sides. They kind of fill in themselves, so it's not that bad. And then for the first 2 rows, those twists tend to unravel quite a bit when the moisture hits them. So they're puffy and they're kind of filling in the back. That's just the way it is. The hair at the top of the crown is always just the thickest. And so when I pull my hair back, I pull it down to the back, and the crown appears the most visible because it's going to be the most coverage. The hair on the sides is the hard part because it's going to be the thinnest, and it's the hair that I most want to protect. So I'm only going to split it up so small because I don't want it to lock. And I only am going to twist it so tight because I do not want to put any tension on there. It does have, I have edges, thankfully. And I don't just have edges, I have like edges. And some of that is what I noticed from using the method that Curly Proverbz set out from the very beginning. I've never been without edges. Like, I just don't have that kind of high tension. Like I said, because I never like to pull hair away from my forehead. So I've never had super high tension. And because my hair is so high porosity, I never could find a gel that worked. It always just, my hair sucked it up and then I was left with frizzy hair. So those kind of styles were never a thing for me. Like edge control is completely useless. I've tried all kinds of edge controls. It's the stuff is just useless. My hair just absorbs everything and it's like I never put anything on. So I do have edges. And now I have like extra edges. Like there's this kinky, curly edges across here. And then there's like a soft baby hair edges that's been growing in over here. So I do have edges. Be nice if I could get them to like swoop and slick, but whatever. But they tend to fill in. And then on this side, I try to get a little swoop going on. Now, at one point, all of this hair was one length. But in the couple of months last winter, when I was doing the kind of like that bandit pull with the poof, it seems like that just didn't do very well with me. And so I got a lot of breakage along the hair at the front. And this is the hair that is the looser curl pattern. And it's just more sensitive. So instead of, being as long as the rest of the hair was, I just cut it. Because it just didn't look good and it had a ton of single strand knots. And so now it is considerably shorter than the rest of the hair. And that's totally okay. It'll grow back. So I have bangs again, which is okay. So sometimes I pull them down and they will get curlier than this. And they were bangs. Last week they were all bangs. This week I just decided to just go ahead and pin them back. So I kind of got them in a swoosh. And that's why they're straighter, because they have been pinned straight. When I first started this, the twist unraveled a lot. Every time I put sprayed moisture on them, they just pretty much unraveled. Then I switched to the elastic hue last week or 2 weeks ago. I switched to the elastic hue, and it seems like it has some type of hold in it. It's got that, I can never remember the name of stuff, that polyquarn squat or whatever, the poly stuff. And that always adds a little bit of hold to the different creams. So that's in there. And so without having a gummy feeling, I'm getting some type of hold. And for the most part, my twists are no longer unraveling. There's some places on the scalp that when I do the scalp massage, it loosens a bit. But they are absolutely not unraveling. They feel Not crunchy like mousse, but they feel pretty firm. They're not going to unravel on me. And to me, they look pretty hydrated. So I'm just getting used to this look. It's totally okay with me. I mean, would I love to have big juicy twist? Yeah, but this is my hair the way it is, and I'm learning to accept it. And I'm just going to normalize it. This is the way it's going to be for some time. Winter break is coming up for me, and that is halfway through the challenge. And I have to decide what I'm going to do for winter break. Generally, I take my twist down every Saturday and I wash and I twist again. And I thought because I had, very fine and low density hair, that it would take me, you know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour to twist, but it actually takes a couple hours to do the twist. It takes a couple hours. And I was actually shocked. The first time I did them, I didn't realize how long it took because I actually stopped halfway and did something. So I thought it just took that long because I was stopping. But the next two times I did them all the way through, and it just took a while. I was like, man, if I had more hair, or at some point once this hair gets longer, this is really going to be a process. But I'm really getting accustomed to the way this looks. And I'll see people who are in mini twist or just twist, and I'm like, is that like really what I want to look like for the rest of my natural life? You know, and actually, yeah, now that I've been doing it, I'm doing it now. I really could see myself at some point having longer twist and that being pretty much the go-to style. And you know what? I've spent a great majority of my life with synthetics braids. Like I started braiding my hair in mini braids with synthetic hair my sophomore year of high school. I did my own braids, and I did that all through college. And then I did it probably like 8 or 9 years after I got out of college. And the only reason why I stopped is because the braids, well, first of all, they began to itch really badly. I don't remember that being a problem in the 90s. But after a while, the synthetic braids itched so bad. I put them in one day, had them in for barely 3 weeks, and took them all out because it itched so bad. And I had some pretty bad itching episodes when I got out of college that it never occurred to me that it occurred to me it was the braiding hair, but I just thought that meant I needed to go buy, a higher quality of braiding hair. So like the 99-cent pack. It was only really into my 20s where I thought, you know what, for some reason, I'm just having a reaction to synthetic hair and I just need to stop using it. And then that's really when I decided that I'm going to actually go natural. And that was a long process. So yeah, I could see myself. Well, once my hair got longer, I probably would do mini braids because I would probably keep them in a lot longer than a week. But yeah, I could totally see myself just pretty much looking like this and then twisting my mini braids into the different styles that I did when I had synthetic braids. But here I am, and so far we're doing good. The only thing I am still like actually working on is the hair around the edges. And it just, no matter what I put on it, it always seems to return back to being dry. So 2 weeks ago, I even tried, I did this right before the wash day. I tried going through the LCO method and I actually put hair grease on the edges to see if that would seal in the moisture, and my hair just sucks it up. So, still trying to figure that one out. I've tried that like maximum hydration thing, and I don't know, they're still kind of dry. That's where I am now. I hope this hair journey is working out for you, and take care of yourself. Have a great day.